is from Mama Lau. She just sent it, last minute. Something like Papa would be familiar with.
Tatanggapin ni Papa or I can see.
He's actually going to make Mama wait. They call it vigil. So Mama says, who would have thought that this day would come? So unexpected, wrong time, wrong place, and too soon. I find it hard to utterly say and think of words to describe you and compress the memories. Much has already been said by family, friends, colleagues, students, and all whom you cross paths with. Their tribute, respect, and love warm and overwhelms us, especially in this difficult time. Evident of an outpouring manifest of your legacy, passion, and commitment on what you do. But Joe, I'm blessed to have spent 36 years with you. They say it is not the years in your life that count, it is the life in your years that mattered. We will forever cherish those years and the memories. When we were in college, we were inseparable. We loved playing our songs, recording selected favorites on cassette tapes, read books, joke around, and just talk with friends. Your love of music and your band, the evolution, would entail you to be spending hours to perfect Van Halen and Bon Jovi songs. Studying at the College of Engineering and Architecture was a challenge for me. For you, it was just a walk in the park. You barely would attend your class, yet always get the highest scores. The greatest blessing from God are our children, Julian, Paul, Madeline, and April Dawn, are the epitome of what this life with you would be. You are a loving father, provider, teacher, joker, and an inspiration. We saw your passion, dedication, and service on teaching. You've been presented with countless offers from big corporations, local and abroad, yet you chose to teach and offer your skills to others. You are simply wonderful. All you were to our life and all the joys you've brought along is embedded in our hearts. You are with the angels now, and though my heart is heavy, it is also full of love and hope. We have a merciful God who loves and forgives, who will take care of you, and that's enough to comfort me, knowing you're in heaven above. So that was from Mama Lau. My sisters, yeah, my mom and my sisters can't be here as much as they want, so they just sent their words over. I'm gonna read Huawei's message first. Uh, my father was always working. He would spend hours in school or in front of his computer or in the middle of towering stacks of exam papers. Most everyone knew him as the teacher, the dreaded Sir Montes. Otherwise, they knew him as a funny man, a showman, a wordsmith with an eccentric sense of drama and quick wit, whose presence demanded your attention. He was brilliant, a genius by many accounts, and he favored tenacity over talent. He was determined to walk the way he talked, striving to demonstrate integrity, moxie, good humor, and hard work. He was a man of science and curiosity, and it is heartening to remember his name out in space on the plaque of the Perseverance rover on Mars. Now we are challenged with articulating his character. I find this duty almost impossible for me, for he had shared himself so selflessly that I know only a fraction of him. It will take the stories and memories of the thousands of people who love him to accurately piece together his soul. And so, I only have my own words for him. Dear Papa, I miss you. Unbearably so. The world feels scarier. Without you to make fun of it. I always felt like I had to share you with your students, and I did so sometimes jealously. But now, with your passing, I am humbled by their regard for you. Knowing that your words resonate far and wide turns any resentment into pride. It is an honor to be your daughter, and I feel immense gratitude for the generosity of people sharing personal moments to celebrate your life. In some ways, it is a testimony of your commitment and passion. Your passing doesn't feel real yet. We have all been reminiscing on how untouchable you seemed, almost invincible with your jokes and wisdom. To think now of your own struggles and personal demons reveals no fault or failure, but rather solidifies your battle hardened force of will. I feel like a little girl once more, playing in your office, stealing office supplies, and using SLU's bulky machines for pinball and Microsoft Paint. Once I drew on your students' exam papers and you learned to leave me with my own stack of Kaponban. I remember wasting so much paper making origami frogs and flowers, throwing paper planes around in the hallways of Jego Silang. I didn't think you were sentimental, and at times you even felt distant, but I came to realize your silent, almost sneaky affection. Years later, I returned to your office, this time to help you grade and sort through papers, only to find that you had kept them. Those poorly made origami flowers. Gathering dust but safe from all the clutter. You were always so pragmatic, and yet you revealed your sentiments through the smallest things, like having us as your laptop screensaver or helping me figure out why the printer wasn't working at 4 in the morning. You set out to make yourself indispensable and utterly dependable, and you succeeded. I am reminded of your quiet resolve by a poem by Robert Hayden. It's a little baduy, and neither of us are really into poems, but it goes something like this. Those winter Sundays too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue black cold. Then, with cracked hands that ached from the weekday weather, made banked fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well, what did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? So yeah, Papa, I miss you. I can only hope to aspire to be as wise and resilient as you. Funny too. Happy birthday. I hope your laughter resonates into the universe and beyond. So that was from Wawi. This time it's from Mads. Papi, I always thought that you and I were two of the same kind. Kindred spirits, We think the same, we feel the same, we have the same humor, we share the same quirks, oddities, and obsessions. We see the world through the same lens. So many people go through life searching for someone, anyone that makes them feel completely understood. I'm lucky I got that for free. So much of me is because of so much of me is because of who you are. I hear you in every Bon Jovi song. I hear your running commentary in my head for every awful show and movie. I imagine your chuckle for every stupid pun. You are in every Star Wars quote and clever sarcastic comment. Eating pizza and drinking coffee never felt more basic and yet extremely profound than when sharing it with you. Happy birthday song never sounds the same without your booming voice at the end. And yes, every wrap gift contains an elephant or giraffe. Don't even bother opening it. For every new idea I learn, every philosophical, moral, academic discussion, it is your thoughts that I crave for, that I yearn for. I don't know how to process your absence because you could say that you are encoded in every fiber of my being. Get it? Ha! You would have laughed at that one. You are the constant voice in my head. Every time I think I've done enough, you can do more. Every time I think, oh, I'm so smart, you can be wiser. Every time I think I've been good, you can be better, be more, be the best. You are the bar that I measure everything against, my golden standard, the Superman I look up to. You made me fearless because no matter what, I knew you had the answers to everything, well, almost everything. When I look up at the night sky, I remember at all times we watched a meteor shower, gazed at the moon through the telescope, talked about stars, planets, galaxies, and the universe. We watched in silence and marveled at the immensity of it all. Little did you know that I felt some joy in knowing that you were as dumbstruck and confounded as I was pondering all the unknowns. Finally, something that we both didn't know, a great though temporary equalizer. Still, it must have felt incredibly lonely being the man who knows everything else. I imagine that's why you love teaching so much. You tried to make this chaotic, messy, illogical world make sense, and it is all the more vibrant and beautiful because of it. It's funny, just when I thought I was getting close to reaching your level, you just had to show me up and move on to the next. You always had to be a step ahead of me. I already know you are compiling anecdotes, lessons, stories, and jokes to tell me as you're venturing into that unknown we've gazed at so many times. And although I might share you with so many people as a mentor, teacher, coach, confidant, and surprisingly, a father figure, know that you mean so much more to me than all of that. Just knowing you existed, even when you were on the other side of the world, made my reality feel a lot less lonely. I miss you in every single way imaginable. I always will. P.S. If all of this just turns out to be some sort of elaborate and intricate setup for another terrible dad joke, it better be one heck of a punchline when I see you on the other side. Yeah, so that was from Mads. When we were young, my dad had this exercise for us. He would say, you find one word, you look up the meaning, and then you use it in a sentence. He'd ask us to do that every day, except on weekends. And through time, our vocabulary grew. I thought it was just that to teach us English, but now, more than ever, I realize that He armed us, He gave us the tools to articulate our feelings, our emotions, even through this really, really tough time. What makes it especially hard is that He was always there. We've already seen the outpouring and overwhelming messages from those people and their lives that He made a difference, but yet He was always there for us. He was always there for every teachable moment. And like what my sister said, He is really, really ingrained into our being. So, Pa, even though you're physically gone, rest easy. We're going to be okay. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you, Jopol, Mads, Lawi, Lau for the beautiful messages. Meron pa po bang gustong mag-share ng final message kay Kuya? Bago natin siya dito. Kay Blanet, you wanna say a few words?
um, when all the Agoos were abroad, it was just Joe and me left in the big house. So the drama was you and me against the world always. We did not see each other daily, but we made sure that we communicated as much as we can. And I remember a lot of times when he would drop by the clinic just to say hi, just to ask how I am, and to joke na, "Oy, buhay pa ako. Buti naman buhay ka pa rin." I will miss the nights when he would make a blunt knock on the walls and say, "Oh." He would always joke me, "Oh." So each time I would think of a way to make even, like when his TV set is loudly on, I would say, "Yan na ba ang sign of aging? Nanghihina na ang pandemic." And so he would tune it a little lower. I will miss him. And like my daughter Thea said, going home to the big house will never be the same again. He was always there to welcome us when we left the big house. And my last word to me when we were there last July 25 was, "Mabuti ka pa, nandyan yung mga apo mo. May kasama ka sa quarantine. I'm alone." At tingin, pagod naman ako. But I have to go on. Ayoko mag-retire eh. Wala naman akong gagawin. Good for you, you have retired. August and September are usually the times when he would come to the clinic for his yearly prophylaxis. Kasi hindi daw siya bibigyan ng load pag hindi yun nagawa. So it's -1 patient for me. A very good patient. In fact, when the quarantine was lifted, he was the first patient in the clinic because he had to have his bridge fixed. Kasi haharap na naman siya sa mga estudyante niya. Nakakahiya daw. Well, sabi sa Ephesians 6:10, we just have to be strong. This is not the time to question the Lord why He has taken this early. We know that His ways are not our ways, and He only means well for each and every one of us. So we just have to accept it. We just have to let Him go. So gaya nga na sinabi niya, pagod na siya. We have to rest Him. We have to let Him rest. I will miss you sorry, Joe. Wala na akong kakampi. It's just me now. Paano na yung you and me against the world natin? Thank you very much.
Ano gusto mong sabihin sila? Final. Sila. Yung mga nasa US.
Does anybody from the call want to say a few words?
Ma'am Tess, meron po bang gustong magbigay ng message from his family sa St. Louis? Any messages po for the family? Yes, sir.
uh, to the family, of course, colleagues, marami actually. Nakita ko si Sergio even before I was studying. Kami po yung first batch ng PS Computer Science. And we know, of course, that Sergio was a very intelligent man. He was a very passionate man. He is basically a model for being a dynamic learner for us, especially in the computer science, information technology field. You have to always have to reinvent yourself because the field is very dynamic. Of course, yung mga colleagues namin during that particular time has high respect for them, and true enough, it manifests on, of course, all that you have read. Mahirap talaga. So, for me, personally, I really didn't expect me and Sergio to be closer friends bago siya nagpaalam. I really didn't expect that the mutual respect between us grew. Mabuti po siyang tao. Ang manifestation na hindi makakalimutan would be, of course, how he manifests his love and concern to my two kids who are also taking up BS Information Technology. Yung isa po, geometry, lagi kong binibiro si Sergio. Kasi sabi nga niya noon, that was something like a few years back. Ay, napatapos ko na yung mga anak ko. I think it's time for me to retire already. I was telling him, sabi, anong gagawin, no? Sabi ko, nakaka-boarding naman sa bahay, nakaka-bobo, sabi ko. Tapos tumatawa siya. Sir, pero seriously, papratitin mo na muna yung anak ko, sabi ko. Because I know that he was that good. And he can probably, of course, make an impact on every student listening to him. And, you know, all of the students who were his students were really blessed. Diba? Kahit na ano pang sabihin nila na ang hirap-hirap, lagi ako na incomplete and everything. True enough, to his calling, he has that particular goal na, alam mo, sabi nga ng maraming nagsasabi na pag napagdaanin nyo si Sergio Montes, kahit na ano pang ibato nyo sa industry, kayang-kaya na. Yan ang lagi namin naririnig. Of course, the program may be very tough, but we would like always our students to excel in their careers. And for us, their mentors, we would like to greatly impact, of course, our students and basically, of course, succeed in their careers. So, we're on the same page. Actually, when the news broke out that he's gone, actually, dami pa namin pinag-uusapan po eh. Dami pa namin plan. We were in constant communication. of course, work entails a lot of stress po. And we have to be tough also. So, Sergio, on behalf of course of my family, whom you really know, we love you, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The whole department wants to be here, but it's quarantine time. Your students wants to be here badly, but we do not know how. Diba? Pero we love you. Kakaingit sir eh. Alam mo, para kang rockstar eh. kung tutuusin. Kung kunyari hindi lang mag-quarantine dito, siguro punong-puno itong place na to. That I can probably guarantee. I will miss the times that we were doing Mr. and Miss, SCIS, CIS, because those were the times na nakapagod man, at least parang nare-relieve tayo dun sa talagang actual na trabaho natin. And you were always there, of course, us having fun. So, yun yung mga parang super mamimiss ko. And then, of course, the bonding times, alam mo naman kung sino-sino yung ating mga kaibigan talaga. And, of course, sabi ko nga, personally, I will miss you. And, of course, yan, we'll continue with of course our goals na alam ko isa ka. On behalf of Ma'am Ses, of course, matagal namin katrabaho, Sir Vicoy, si Mama ako nandyan, tandem lagi. Thank you, Mama. And of course, si Ma'am Beverly, the outgoing department head, of course our clerk also. And also from the family of CICS, SCIS, and of course, yung aming unang boss, Ma'am Florian. Alam nyo, to tell you honestly, there are a lot, yung mga colleagues namin nung una, they want to really come up and see Sergio, pay the respects. Kaso, hanggang pag na lang, parang pakisabi na lang po, pakisabi na lang po. Kaya marami pong nagmamahal kay Sergio. Of course, yun po eh. Parang family na rin po yung sa amin doon eh, because we always see each other, diba? You go home, see your family, but in spite that, mas nakakasalimuha kami kasi mas yun during the daytime, you are always with there with your workmates po. So, saludo po sir, wala pang masasabi. Maraming salamat po for sharing your life with us, and to of course the family, Joe Paul, si Ma'am, si States, si Mads, and si April. Salamat for, of course, sharing Sergio with us. We will miss you. We love you, Sergio.
Thank you, sir. For the beautiful message. Okay na sila sa stage.